Welcome to Capital City Paranormal-ish, where we delve into the exploration of creepy, strange, paranormal, and unexplainable TikToks that we all love to watch. So sit back, grab your popcorn, and strap in, and get ready to have your entire reality questioned. Hey, Freaky Fam, welcome to another edition of Capital City Paranormal-ish, where we delve into the exploration of creepy, paranormal, odd, strange, unexplainable, all those TikToks that we all love to watch. And anyways, if you're new to the channel here and you're not quite yet a member of the Freaky family, you can be by just simply hitting that subscribe button down there. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, and it instantly makes you a member of the Freaky family. And let me tell you, the family is growing. It wasn't very long ago we just crossed 100 subscribers. Now I'm over 150 already. So we're on our way to 200, we're on our way to 1,000, we're on our way to 10,000, we're on our way to who knows how many. Anyways, without further ado, like I say, show the family the love, hit the subscribe button, hit the likes, comment on the videos, share this with your family and friends, all that good stuff, and let's get down to the videos.
MK Ultra wasn't one experiment, it was a franchise of nightmares. Over 150 sub-projects, each more secretive than the last. Some had names like Artichoke and Bluebird. One allegedly was called Monarch, tied to trauma-based mind control and dissociation. The CIA didn't just test in labs. They went into prisons, hospitals, mental institutions, even universities. McGill University in Canada. Patients went in for depression, came out with wiped memories and scrambled identities. Many experiments were done without consent. People were drugged, hypnotized, isolated. Some were children. Even the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, was a subject at Harvard under one of these sub-projects at age 17. And here's the kicker. Most of these programs were contracted out to researchers who didn't even know the full agenda. The CIA just called it behavioral science. This wasn't science fiction. It was funded, documented, and partially declassified. And most of it still under wraps.
Alright fam, I don't know about you, but for me, if it's come to light that some of these projects were actually happening, did actually happen, and there's been multiple victims of these projects, some of them still not fully disclosed, you got to ask yourself one question: the hell are they doing to us right now? That's what I'd like to know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, and I've been hearing from a lot more of you in the comments, which is great. I love it. Yeah, let's get your feedback, and yeah, let's talk. Here's the next video, guys.
The CIA thought LSD might be the key to mind control, or at least to breaking someone's mind. So they used it, a lot. Not just on volunteers, but on unwitting people in bars, brothels, train stations, and even CIA offices. One project, called Operation Midnight Climax, involved dosing civilians while they were being secretly watched through two-way mirrors in fake San Francisco apartments. Some victims had psychotic breaks. Some were institutionalized. One man, Frank Olson, a government biochemist, was drugged without his knowledge by his own colleagues. A few days later, he fell from a 13-story hotel window. They called it suicide. But decades later, his family had the body exhumed. The forensic report: blunt force trauma to the head before the fall. The deeper you dig, the darker it gets. If this was real, what else have they buried? Start asking questions. Start connecting dots. Because MK Ultra wasn't the end. It was the prototype.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always taught my children whenever I had the opportunity to question everything. Why believe something one person tells you? Um, you know, like, why take one person's word for everything? Because if one thing we've learned in life is people will say anything to anybody at any time for any reason, for whatever agenda. So just, keep yourself safe and, look into things. If they don't feel right inside, follow your gut. Follow your gut and definitely look into things. Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that look like this here, but back there, they don't look nothing like that. So make sure you guys keep yourself wise, aware, and safe. That's my best recommendation. Here's the next video.
Cold doesn't actually exist, especially not in the way we think. You see, temperature is simply the speed at which atoms are moving. When atoms move faster, things get hotter. When they move slower, it feels colder. But here's the thing. You can't actually make something colder. What you can do is take heat away from it. Absolute zero, the coldest possible temperature, doesn't involve adding coldness. It's about stripping away all the heat until the atoms come to a complete stop. But the truth is, scientists have never actually reached absolute zero. Why not? Because heat is everywhere, even in the vacuum of space. Cosmic radiation ensures that nothing can ever reach a state of complete stillness. But humans being humans, we tried exactly that. In 2021, scientists came closer than ever before. They created a temperature colder than deep space, right here on Earth. NASA's Cold Atom Lab managed to achieve a temperature just 1/1000th of a degree above absolute zero. That's colder than anything else in the universe. So the next time you think it's freezing outside, remember, cold isn't real. It's simply the absence of heat.
Well, so then I guess with that being said, Mr. Tyson, I guess there is no such thing as darkness, only the absence of light. So I guess that's one way to look at it. When maybe sometimes when things get dark in your life, just remember there is no such thing as darkness. There's just the absence of light. So find that light in those times. Find that light in those times. And hopefully there's somebody there that can be that light for you if you ever do reach those times. So yeah, I just wish the best for everyone, that's all. Here's the next video, guys.
Controversial conspiracy theories. COVID-19 and 5G. During the COVID-19 pandemic, some claimed 5G technology spread the virus despite no scientific evidence. Others suggested the virus was created in a lab as a bioweapon, sparking worldwide debate and misinformation. Flat Earth theory. Despite overwhelming evidence from scientists and astronauts, a group of believers insists Earth is flat, surrounded by an ice wall, and that round Earth is a conspiracy promoted by space agencies. Moon landing hoax. In 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon. But some believe the moon landing was staged in a Hollywood studio, citing suspicious shadows, waving flags, and missing stars in the photos. NASA denies these claims, but skeptics persist.
Okay, well, what about the fact of the curvature of the Earth and seeing objects in the distance? How come it is you can still see objects that you should have lost the sight of the curvature of the Earth, but you can still see them right in front of you when zoomed in? How can you explain that? And why is it that we see the constellations in the same spot every night? If we were flying through space like you say that we are, at the speeds you're saying we are around the sun that you say that we are, they wouldn't be able to be in the same spot every single night. The only way it does make sense is from a flat, non-rotating Earth, in my opinion. And the math adds up to that, everything adds up to that, and any of the bullshit NASA's been saying doesn't add up to that. I mean, I challenge anybody to look into it, do the math, and I'm sure after a while you'll kind of be saying, I don't think so, NASA. In fact, what was I told one time NASA stands for? Never a straight answer. I don't know. That's just one guy and his opinion. That's all. Here's the next one. Here's the next video, fam.
This is the only proof we have of time travel, and it's absolutely terrifying. In 1923, archaeologists discovered a sealed tomb in Egypt. Inside, they found something that defied all logic. A photograph dated 1987. In it, a man in modern clothing stood in front of the tomb holding a camera. That man was later identified as Elon Hawk, a scientist who went missing in 1987 while working on a top-secret government project called Kronos. The project's goal was to unlock time travel. However, it was abruptly shut down after Hawk's disappearance without a trace. But the most chilling part was the message scribbled on the back of the photo. I tried to stop it, but the loop is inevitable. Years later, in 1980, another photograph appeared. This time it showed Elon Hawk, now much older, standing in front of the same tomb. The date, 2025. Experts were stunned. How could one man appear in 3 different timelines? And what did he mean by, the loop is inevitable? The final clue was found in Hawk's 1987 lab notes. He wrote, "Time is not linear, it's a loop, and I'm trapped in it." But here's the final twist. In 2020, a team of researchers decided to reopen the tomb. Inside, they found a camera, the same one from the photographs. When they developed the film, they saw an image of themselves inside the tomb. Date stamped 2045.
According to conspiracy theorists, the Rothschild family secretly controls the global financial system through a vast network of central banks, including the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, and the International Monetary Fund. By manipulating interest rates, currency values, and national debts, they supposedly engineer economic booms and crashes to consolidate wealth and power. This alleged dominance is said to date back to the Napoleonic Wars, where the Rothschilds supposedly funded both sides, using insider information and financial leverage to profit from the outcome. Since then, they are rumored to have played a hidden role in every major conflict, from World War I and II to more recent geopolitical tensions. The ultimate goal, in this theory, is to establish a new world order, a centralized one-world government, where the Rothschilds and their allies, often linked to secretive groups like the Illuminati, pull the strings. As part of this grand scheme, they are believed to own or control vast natural resources, including gold reserves, oil companies, and even the major media outlets, enabling them to maintain the illusion that they are just another rich family rather than the hidden rulers of the world.
Well, fam, my honest 100% opinion is I can't tell you what of these videos are true and what aren't true exactly, what partially are true, what are completely false. I can't tell you 100% for sure, and that's the honest truth from me. But what I can tell you is that whatever's going on needs to stop. Needs to stop. It can't be left this way for our kids. It can't be left this way for their kids. And like I said before, our parents didn't solve it for us. Let's be the ones. Let's be the ones, and the only way is to let's grow the freaky fam. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get this family so frickin' big that they don't have a choice but to listen to us. And let's get to the bottom of things. That's all. It's not about who did what and what anymore. It's about let's fix the shit. Let's solve the problems. That's what I think. So come on, you guys, keep hitting that subscribe button. Let's get a voice out there. Here's the next video.
They are all genetic manipulated half-breeds of the original C-car race. They stand 18 to 25 feet tall. They can weigh up to 2,500 pounds. They're like Tyrannosaurus Rexes. They're monsters. Up to 2,500 pounds. They have black, leathery brown scaled bellies. They have multiple abdomens. They have whiskers along their chin and jawline. They had a mating claw and multiple tongues. I'm going to give you some very specific information. A mating claw.
What does that mean?
Honey, Robin, you need a mating claw. Well, we'll find somebody that's got a mating claw. And multiple tongues. Okay? They lay eggs. And what is called a battle hormone is used to accelerate the birthing process. Uh-huh.
They're male and female?
Yes. They are a duality. This is why ancestral females did not participate in war. It's because if they did, there wouldn't be anybody there to help with the eggs. Okay? They also have to be there to secrete this hormone. Okay? I'm only sharing with you what I know about them, okay? I'm sure there's a lot of questions. Okay. Did not participate in war. Stronger young females were expected to defeat and kill older and weaker leaders in ritual combat. The Seeker race is ruled and managed by genetic lines, genetic lineage. And genetic lineage always follows the mother, because you always know who the mother is. You don't always know who the father is. Okay? So, you know, in that particular line, the gals have all the say. Ruled by a monarchy of a queen genetic lineage, they are one of the most powerful races in the galaxy. They have some of the greatest military might that has ever been seen in the galaxy. And most of the clan members are zealots and will do anything for the glory of their clans, of their lineage. They have been the chief enemy of all human races in this galaxy in past conflicts. Again, we're talking about hydrogen breathers versus oxygen breathers. They have 3 spinal columns. One spine is located ventrally near the stomach. The other 2 are located dorsally on the left and on the right of the Seeker's body. The spinal columns join near the dorsal of the geometric center at the extreme posterior of the trunk to form a long and very powerful tail. Inside of the hands or claws of the Seeker are jelly-like sacs that excrete various hormones and substances when the Seeker is aroused, either for sex or for battle. The primary purpose of these enzymes is to initiate encrusting of sperm. Okay. There is an amazing amount of life out there, and they look at us and they think we're beasts as well. Honestly. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about the Lyrans. Now, when I'm talking about the Lyrans, and then I'm going to talk about the human race as a whole, about some other things here. I've got some pretty good notes. I'm also talking about us, okay, and our ancestors, and all the ancestors of the ancient Lyran line, genetic line. Okay, now before I even get to that, I'm going to read the first sentence that I have on humans. The human race is unusual in having all of its members' race derive from one genetic line. Okay? That's an amazing thing. That is an amazing thing. Okay, so now let's talk about the Lyrans, and then we'll talk about humans some more. Okay, we'll talk about the Lyrans. Their skin color is...
Well, I'm definitely going to say, fam, I've watched quite a few of these little episodes from this seminar this guy's put on, and I'm not going to say that I'm convinced 100% of everything that he's saying, but I do think that there's a lot of truth in his narration of things, and yeah, that's my opinion on it anyways. Give the guy a listen, check out some of his other ones if I haven't hit them on my other videos and you've seen them yourselves. But yeah, I think some of the things that he says is very interesting, and some things we should really look at. And yeah, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, because I'm really interested to know what the fam's opinion is on things, because you know what, you're the fam and I care. And so yeah, let's talk about things. Here's the next video.
Are cities designed to collect our energy? Look at any major city from above. Why do they so much resemble circuit boards? Are they really designed for humans? At first glance, cities seem like they were built for efficiency, for organization, for civilization to thrive. But look deeper. Why do they all follow the same rigid patterns? Straight roads, sharp angles, towering obelisks of glass and steel. Ancient civilizations didn't build like this. Their cities flowed. Curved roads, organic layouts, structures aligned with the stars and the natural energies of the earth. Modern cities, they don't flow. But maybe that's the point. Circuit boards transfer energy. They gather it, amplify it, and send it somewhere else. What if cities do the same? But with us? Think about it. Millions of people packed into these grids, moving like electrical currents, generating emotions, stress and energy, fear. And it can be harvested. How does a circuit board transfer its signals? Now ask yourself, if cities collect our energy, where is it being sent? Is this why we constantly kept in a state of stress, fear, and exhaustion? Because fear is energy. Ancient cultures across the world spoke of entities that lived beneath us. The Nagas of Hindu mythology, the serpent gods of Mesoamerica, the reptilian beings whispered about in modern conspiracy circles. What if they never left? What if they lived below, hidden, in deep underground cities, harvesting our energy like a power source? Governments have built massive underground facilities, military bases, secret bunkers, entire cities beneath the surface. What if those aren't for humans at all? What if they're for them? Cities above, cities below, and in between, us. A battery, a resource, a food source, and we never questioned it.
What if I told you that Putin might have a secret alliance with the Anunnaki? This theory will make you rethink everything you know. As the world focuses on politics and wars, there is a disturbing pattern: mysterious movements in Siberia, military rumors of secret archaeological excavations, and sightings of strange lights in areas near Russian bases. Could Putin be collaborating with a non-human civilization? The Anunnaki are theorized to be advanced beings who were on Earth thousands of years ago and left behind incredibly advanced technology. Some believe Putin has accessed this technology to consolidate his global power. Leaked documents suggest these excavations in Siberia could have unearthed more than just fossils, tools or artifacts that would change the global balance of power. What does Putin know that the rest of us don't? Type Anunnaki in the comments if you want me to continue unearthing more secrets about this possible alliance. Follow me for more theories that will make you doubt reality.
You have mentioned that there's interdimensional potential. Could you expound on that?
And then in terms of multidimensionality, that kind of thing, the framework that I'm familiar with, for example, is something called the holographic principle. It derives itself from general relativity and quantum mechanics, and that is, if you want to imagine a 3D object such as yourself casting a shadow onto a 2D surface, that's the holographic principle. So you can be projected, quasi-projected from higher dimensional space to lower dimensional. It's a scientific trope that you can actually cross, literally, as far as I understand, but there's probably guys with PhDs that we could probably argue about that.
But you have not seen any documentation that that's what's occurring?
Only a theoretical framework discussion. Yes.
Okay.
Well, fam, I'm going to end up this video by saying, you know what? I hope tomorrow there's a larger family here and I hope the next day a larger family, and so on and so on. And I want to tell every one of you that's here and watch these videos that I appreciate you and I love you 100%, 100%. And you know, I do this for you guys. I do this for myself. I do this because I love to do it, and I do it because I believe we all need to know the truth. So yeah, I don't know what else to say other than keep looking over your shoulders, fam. Keep questioning everything. And if you got something to say, no matter who it is that you got to say it to them. Because follow your guts, follow your instinct. It's there for a reason. I know that for sure. And hey, you know, let's work together as one race, human race. Let's work together. And enough is with this shit, you know. Let's get to some truth. Let's get to the bottom of what we know, so that we all know, so that we can all put our heads together and, you know, do something positive. And yeah, with that being said, I love each and every one of you. Thank you for keep coming back and tuning in. And don't worry, there's more to come. I'm not stopping. And just like I don't think any of the fam's stopping either. So with that, I'm Don Rock, Capital City Paranormalish. Au revoir. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Capital City Paranormalish. We hope you have enjoyed today's video and its content. And if you've not already become a member of the Freaky family, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. It's free, takes 2 seconds, and you will become an instant member of the Freaky family. So until next time, fam, stay safe. Ha ha ha.